Good afternoon. This is USMC Saxoki. We're here at my home in North Carolina. Beautiful summer day. I just got back from about a 52-mile ride. Obviously, I didn't wear this. I had a full helmet on, long pants, over the ankle boots, gloves, all the right riding gear. But today I want to talk to you about my 2018 Zero SR. I got this bike in August from Team Power Sports in Raleigh. Great service, great place. The review I wrote for this bike, I originally wrote in after about 600 miles and about a month of ownership, and everything I wrote in that review holds true. It's been about 10 months since then, and the bike has a little over 4,000 miles now, and I can say it's been great. No issues. It's so much fun. It's so quick. No maintenance. It's such an awesome bike, and I want to share my opinions of it and my review of it with you. So, obviously it's a Zero SR. It's an all-electric bike. Zero is a company based out of California. They've been making bikes for a little over 10 years now. And I'll be straight with you. I can argue both ways. I can argue for electric bikes and against them. If you want to go out and take long and ride for hours on end, this is not the bike for you. But if you like going out, having fun after work, or having a little bit of fun on the weekends, going for that 100-mile ride, no problem. It's a great bike. So without further ado, here's my review that I wrote about 10 months ago, and everything I wrote in that review still holds true. So hope you enjoy. Thanks. All right, so before I actually get into my review that I wrote, I just want to show you all how easy it is to plug these things in and charge them up. It's not hard. So I just kind of keep the cable wrapped up over here on the ground. And all you do is right here, pull that out, take this end right here, plug it in there, take the other end, plug it in. Bike reads the charge, beeping, starts charging. So we're at 55% state of charge, and according to the bike, it's going to take 3 hours and 44 minutes to go ride. Or not to go ride, to charge the bike up to 100%. That's the thing with these, like, you don't have to charge the bike up to 100%. Like, if 30 minutes from now I get a drink of water, I eat something, and I want to go riding again, I just unplug it and go riding. It doesn't matter what the state of charge is at. So you got your power, your cable, goes into the bike, bam. That's it. That's all it takes.
2018 Zero SR motorcycle. The bike, the experience, why you should, why you shouldn't. This is a review of my 2018 Zero SR written after 600 miles and nearly a month of ownership. It's now been 4,000 miles and 10 months of ownership. First, I'll discuss the facts of the bike before going into my experience and opinions. Next will be a short explanation of why you should buy one, followed by a list of why you shouldn't. For context and perspective on my experience with motorcycles, I've been an avid motorcycle rider and owner for about 8 years of my life. My first bike was a 1983 Honda CX650 that I bought and rode during and after high school, and it was also the bike I learned to ride on. My second bike was a 2007 Harley Sportster 1200C that I owned for 4.5 years and absolutely loved. The Zero SR is the third motorcycle I've owned and the first one I bought brand new. Before my interest in Zeros, I was an avid fan of Harleys, having rented and or rode Street Glides, a Fat Boy, Road King, and a Super Glide. This is not to say I don't like Harleys, I do. I am simply a proponent of electrical propulsion and believe in it as the present and future of transportation. On to the review. The bike. The 2018 Zero SR is Zero Motorcycle's top-of-the-line street bike with a curb weight of 414 pounds and delivering 116 pound-foot of torque. To put those numbers in comparison, a 2018 Harley-Davidson Street Glide weighs 829 pounds in running order and delivers 111 pound-feet of torque. The Zero accelerates from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds with a max top speed of 102 miles per hour. Range per charge, according to Zero, is from 179 miles to 90 miles, depending on a number of factors similar to that of gasoline-powered bikes. The motorcycle costs $16,495 MSRP, which is in line with new Harley-Davidson Softails. It is an all-electric motorcycle with no transmission, gears, clutch, or shifter. It has a battery-powered direct carbon belt drive that delivers instant torque. The battery is a 14.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion power pack that sits right where the engine would be on a gas-powered bike. It is charged via an integrated 1.3 kilowatt charger that plugs into a regular 110 to 120 volt household outlet using a power cord that comes with the bike. Charge time depends on where the battery is at when you plug it in. Zero says it will take about 9.8 hours to go from 0 to 100%. Since owning the bike, I've only had the battery down to 42% and it has taken less than 5 hours to get it back to 100%. There are two main accessories that can be purchased with the bike. You can either offer the charge tank, which allows for level 2 J1772 access and will cut your charge time down to about 2.5 hours from 0 to 100% state of charge. Or you can go with the power tank that increases battery capacity to 18 kilowatt hours and increases the range by about 20 to 40 miles. Each costs $2,295 and $2,895 respectively. Unfortunately, you can't have both since each takes up the same space on the bike. So you have three options: quicker charge times, more range, but longer charge times because of the increased battery size, or a waterproof, lockable storage compartment where these other accessories would be placed and where the gas tank sits on a gas bike. This lockable storage compartment comes standard if you don't offer either accessory. There are a few considerations. First, both will affect the center of gravity as more weight will be added to the top of the motorcycle. Second, you have to have access to a level 2 charger to get the benefit of the charge tank. Finally, you lose the lockable storage space with either. I bought the standard SR with the storage compartment, and it is one of my favorite features of the bike. Cost of charge will vary, but should be anywhere from $1 to $2. Zero claims at $1.61 based on the average price of electricity per kilowatt hour. Miles per gallon E is 474 city and 238 highway. The only fluid in the bike is the brake fluid. ABS is standard. The battery has a 5-year unlimited mile warranty, and the bike itself has a 2-year limited warranty. For further stats on the Zero SR or any of Zero's motorcycles, visit their website at www.zeromotorcycles.com. Alright, the experience. The bike is excellent. It is simple, quiet, not silent, twist and go fun machine that makes me wonder what motorcycle riding is really about. I think that's a difficult and complicated question to answer since motorcycling means many things to many people. It's a way to commute. It's about speed and the thrill. It's about the rumble. It's about customization. It's about being cool. It's about being in the club, as I call it, and giving the motorcycle wave to other riders. It's about the elements and the thrill of not having any walls around you as you fly down the road at 70 miles per hour. So where does an electric bike like the Zero SR fit into these categories? Well, except the rumble, all of them. If you are into motorcycles, find your nearest Zero dealer and drive one ASAP. The thrill of seamlessly twisting the throttle and hanging on to dear life as you rock it to 60 plus miles per hour is something to be experienced, not explained. The three modes, Eco, Custom, and Sport, offer three very different riding experiences. Eco is good, very good. It's more than enough for a nice ride, but only offers about 50% of the torque. I always start my ride in Eco until I get out of the neighborhood. Custom mode allows you to adjust torque, max top speed, max regeneration, and max regenerative brake via an application on your smartphone, or in my case, an iPod Touch. My custom settings are 90% torque, 80 miles per hour, 80% and 100% respectively. Sport mode gives you 100% of the torque and minimal regenerative braking, which essentially means it will feel like a gas-powered bike when it comes to braking. My custom torque setting is only 90% because I want there to be a noticeable difference in sport mode. Regenerative braking happens with the Zero whenever you lift off the throttle. It doesn't actually use your friction brakes, but is the result of the motor converting your kinetic energy via your speed into potential energy in the battery. The motor generates electricity, which puts juice back in the battery and slows you down in the process. Two major benefits: less actual friction brake usage and increased range. It would be like if every time you slow down in a gas-powered vehicle, some mechanism created and dripped fuel back into the tank. Regenerative braking is also another reason why electric vehicles are so much more efficient than gas-powered vehicles. Every time you brake, you regenerate power, not just heat on your rotors. With custom mode, the difference between max regeneration and max regenerative brake settings are how much regeneration you get when you let off the throttle. How much regeneration you get when you let off the throttle and how much you get when you use your brakes. You can set it to where you have minimal regeneration off the throttle, but when you use your front and rear brakes, the bike slows down via regeneration, not the brake rotors. Seem confusing? Bottom line is that it is adjustable and feels very similar to engine braking on a gas-powered bike, except you consistently slow without having to downshift. It is an excellent advantage and takes very little to get used to. When the Zero is on and ready to ride, it's silent, dead silent. I love this. The only indication it's ready to go is a small green circle on the display. Twist and you're off. To get to this point, turn the key on, put the sign stand up, and push the kill switch down to on. When the green circle comes up, you're ready. There's nothing extraneous or necessary like a start button or something to make it feel like a traditional bike. It's simple and exactly how it should be. Once you start rolling, there is noise, but it's the noise of the wheels turning, the belt moving, and everything else that's normally concealed by engine noise, which means all the components have to be that much tighter and better. The sounds you hear aren't loud or annoying, they're just there as they are on any motorcycle. As you accelerate, the sound can only be described as this futuristic whir as the bike increases speed. It's cool and something that has to be experienced. The bike effortlessly cruises down the road. It is planted and well balanced in the turns. Lean into a curve, hit the throttle, and the bike shoots through going from 45 to 60 in a second or two. Let off the throttle, and the regeneration smoothly decelerates you to your desired speed. No issues on the highway. The Zero easily accelerates from 70 to 90 miles per hour if ever so desired. Get it out on a country road, and the bike cruises at whatever speed you so choose. I personally enjoy 55 to 60 miles per hour on country roads. No worrying about being in the right gear or wanting to cruise at 50 and being in that awkward RPM in between 4th and 5th. You are always in the right gear on this motorcycle. Gear in quotation marks. Speaking of country road cruising, I think there is something to be said about stopping at an empty intersection and being able to take a second and enjoy your surroundings. With this bike being silent at a stop, I can take in the sounds and smells of the country and my environment. It's great. The Zero always shines in stop-and-go traffic. Since there's no engine, there's no heat building up on you as you sit waiting for a light on a hot day. No finding neutral so you can give your left hand a brake. No constant up and down shifting through traffic. No wasting fuel as there is no gas engine idling away. If you're lucky, you'll be able to stop. You'll be first to stop at a red light and somebody on or in a fancy gas-powered vehicle will pull up next to you. Switch over to sport mode, wait for the green light, and smile to yourself as you quietly and quickly speed away. Not to say that the Zero SR is the fastest machine out there, but it would take a very expensive vehicle and a very good driver to beat it to 60. The comparison of costs to run the Zero and a gas bike depends on a number of things to include cost of gas, cost per kilowatt hour, efficiency, how you ride, and premium or regular gas, etc. I could create an Excel spreadsheet and put in a bunch of different factors to play with, but the bottom line is the Zero is cheaper to run. Okay, so some simple math. Estimate 10 kilowatt hours to go 100 miles on the Zero SR. If you say 11 cents per kilowatt hour equals $1.10 to drive that 100 miles. If a similar powered gas bike gets 45 mpg and gas costs $2.70 for regular gas, it would cost you $6 to drive that same 100 miles. So you have 110 to drive 100 miles on the Zero, or $6 to drive 100 miles in a gas-powered bike that gets 45 mpg. You can adjust the numbers up and down as necessary based on where you live and what type of bike you drive. For example, when I had my Harley, I put 93 octane in it, and that was around $4 a gallon at the time, so very expensive. Harley does recommend 91 octane or higher for their bikes. I can't yet say much about maintenance costs for the Zero SR. Time will tell. Should be very minimal based on what Zero says and my experience thus far with my Chevy Volt, which does have a gas engine, unfortunately. There is no oil to be changed, no spark plugs, no coolant, no chain, no accessory battery, and minimal vibrations putting strain on the entire system of the bike. There are, however, brakes that can be worn, tires that will eventually need replaced, brake fluid, and light bulbs. Hopefully that's about it for maintenance. Zero claims the battery will hold 80% or greater of its original capacity up to 241,000 miles. Yes, batteries will degrade over time. Doesn't everything. People have asked me what I'll do with my Chevy Volt when the battery needs replaced. I respond, what will you do when your engine needs replaced? I have a lot of confidence in today's battery technology, and to me, it's not an issue. Allow me to share some thoughts on environmental impact. First, there is no such thing as a green vehicle. Second, there are vehicles that are better for the environment over their lifetimes than others. I'd like to think that Zero motorcycles are better for the environment than other bikes, but this isn't an issue to me, and wasn't a consideration when I bought it. I don't buy things that are better for the environment. I buy things that are better for me. The two just happen to correlate sometimes. Electric propulsion is cleaner, quicker, more efficient, and requires less maintenance. For fuel, I'd rather rely on a source that is domestically produced, domestically distributed, has a consistent price, can be created in sustainable ways, and not tied to forces I have little control of. It makes me feel good to fuel my vehicle from home. Though electric vehicles are said to be cleaner, my choice to buy a Zero is economical, not environmental. The bike is a head turner and conversation starter. I've had the bike for about a month, it's been 10 months now, and already 2 Harley riders and 1 sport bike dude have asked me about it. The older Harley riders pretty much ask me the standard how far, how fast, and how much questions that are a necessity when talking about electric vehicles. I gladly answer their questions and explain some other things as well. The sport bike dude literally stopped his truck as he was driving by me in a parking lot and started the conversation with, "Is that a Zero?" He knew about the brand, but had probably never seen someone on one. He then asked me if I could do a wheelie, and I quickly explained I'm not that kind of rider, which I'm not. Answer, yes, you can, but I will. So in a week of owning the bike, two sides of the motorcycle rider spectrum have taken a keen interest and literally went out of their way to ask me questions. I imagine it's kind of like owning a Tesla in the Midwest. People have heard of Teslas but are baffled at the thought of an electric vehicle and must inquire. Bottom line, I love this kind of interaction and will talk on the subject at length to anyone willing to have an educated conversation or debate. So wrapping up, Zero SR, why you should. You love speed. You love acceleration. You love electric vehicles and electric propulsion. You want a bike that has minimal maintenance and low cost of ownership. You have a good place to park and charge it regularly. You love the very quiet operation. You need a very efficient daily commuter bike. You just plain enjoy motorcycle riding. You love taking daily, after-work short rides and longer but local rides on weekends. These are some of the reasons I bought the 2018 Zero SR. Zero SR, why you shouldn't. Number 1, you take long trips. Yes, you can take trips on this bike. It would be recommended to have the charge tank option and plan a route where level 2 chargers exist. The fact of the matter is that level 2 chargers don't yet exist like I believe they should in many parts of the country. If you live where they do exist regularly, yes, long road trips can easily be done with a little planning. However, if you love getting out on the highway and riding for hours on end, the Zero probably isn't the bike for you. Take a look at your riding habits and dig into how much and where you actually ride. It may surprise you how often you take local 10 to 100-mile rides. Number 2, it's expensive. Yes, it's Harley or big, powerful sport bike money. It is, however, in my opinion, the best bang for the buck in range, performance, and quality when it comes to electric motorcycles. Number 3, and this is getting nitpicky, you have to have cruise control on your motorcycle. Cruise control is not available on Zero's bikes. Zero, please add cruise control to your standard features. Thank you. And I think they did on their new Zero SRF, which is good. And finally, number 4, you are a proponent of loud pipes save lives. This is debatable, of course. On the Zero, I can hear everything around me. I know when a car is coming from behind. I can hear sirens in the distance. I am more aware and in tune with my surroundings. On a Harley or any other bike with loud pipes, you can't hear much beyond the rumble. In my opinion, that noise can create a false sense of security as you assume everyone else is aware of your presence. Bottom line is that as riders, we must be constantly engaged in our ride, always aware of our surroundings, and watching out for the other guy or gal. Ride like you're invisible. Final thoughts. The 2018 Zero SR is fun, fast, and a heck of a good time to ride. Range, performance, and quality are excellent and getting better with every production year. As a past Harley fan and owner, I will admit I sometimes miss the rumble and mechanics of a gas bike. Will I ever go back to that as long as I have a choice? Nope. As an owner of 2 electric vehicles now, I sometimes half-jokingly and half-in-truth suggest to people who drive and love their conventional gas-powered vehicles to never try or buy an electrically powered car or bike. I tell them this because once you go electric, you may never go back. All right, that's going to do it for me today. This again has been USMC Saxoki. Please give me a like. Please give me a comment. Please give me a dislike if you thought so. And as always, live smarter, live simpler, live with more money. Saxoki your life. See you next time.